ever going live on YouTube. I go live on some of my other social accounts, but never YouTube. But I decided to come here because I ran across a troubling article, right? And this article, if you've been following me, you kind of know what I'm into. But this is saying that New York plans to release safe gas in the subways and parks at the end of the month. Um, those of us who are here with the eyes to see, we already know what the business is. Now, this is something that they're claiming is planning ahead for a biological or chemical weapon that may be used on us. And this is going to be a government study that they plan on releasing safe gas. Now, the Department of Homeland Security is saying that it's working with city agencies and researchers, right? Including the people from Transit Authority, because what they're planning to do is, again, release safe gas in key points around the 5 boroughs of New York City area. It's baffling to me that this isn't raising eyebrows to anybody, that they're disclosing that they're about ready to gas y'all. Okay, they're about ready to release gas on you, residents of New York, and use you like lab rats, which they love to do. They love to use us, citizens, to study how their nefarious plots and schemes are going to benefit them in the future, don't they? And we're not lab rats. And we really don't consent to them using any gas on us, right? We don't consent to them spraying us every day like a bunch of roaches. Yet here we find ourselves in this Orwellian nightmare of a reality. And I feel like people need to be brought in on the reality of this is not safe gas. Now, 120 locations they're saying will be tested, and this is including parks and below ground subway stations. So they're about to release gas down into the subways of New York boroughs. And it's going to be held for 5 days, this study, the 18th through the 29th of October. So if you're in NYC, I would just advise you to steer clear of any public transit or any park during those 5 days, because we really don't know what is in this alleged safe gas. Now, they've gassed us before. Remember, they've put gas on people in studies throughout the course of the last 30 years that we know of. In New Orleans, they've studied it. They had Operation Big Buzz, where they were putting stuff in mosquitoes. I mean, these people continuously come up with plots and schemes to use us subjects as their lab rats. And this particular project is saying that it's going to be a low concentration of a safe particle. That's what they're claiming. A safe particle and gas tracer material. And this is in part with a program for the Urban Threat Dispersion Unit or something, which is like the biochemical defense test bed for the DHS, something just ridiculous, you know? And this is, they're aiming, okay, to stimulate the aerosol release of a biological agent in a densely populated urban environment. Now, those of you guys who have been here for a minute and aren't just running across this video for the first time, you have to see that they have a card game, the Illuminati card game. They have all kinds of things that they've disclosed their plan against us. The fact that they're attempting to stimulate the aerosol release of a biological agent right before their said dark winter should raise a few brows, guys. Now, they're saying that the researchers will just be around collecting air samples and materials that settle on the ground in other areas after they've dispersed the safe gas. So they want to go in for 5 days and hammer out a concocted substance into the subways and into 120 different areas of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Then they want to come back in and collect the particles that they've dispersed and test. For what, though? What good is that going to do? We need to ask ourselves this stuff, right, guys? So the results are supposed to be used to learn more about the relationship with the airflow in street level and underground environments. So they're attempting to learn more about that. Hi, guys watching. So they're saying that these results are going to be used to help them figure out how they would respond in an actual emergency situation. Quote, to possible terrorist activity. Wow. Red flags are flying, you guys. I am going to tell you, this thing is really quite weird. This agenda here with spraying people in the subways, spraying people in the parks of the 5 boroughs of New York. That should raise a few brows, you guys. Now, they're saying commuters and other New Yorkers are advised that they may see personnel outside subways being escorted by New York City police officers while they're performing the airflow test. They have not disclosed the full list of the different locations, but Homeland Security does list Times Square, Grand Central, Penn Station, Union Square, the World Trade Center Transit Hub, and other sites for testing, both indoors and outdoors. So inside these stations and hubs and outside these areas. And this is insane to me that they need to do this. What convenient timing that these sinister criminals have come up with to run this test for Homeland Security, you know, because it's always going to be an external threat when they put it out there. But I assure you that if you just look into Operation Dark Winter, they know what they're doing. And if they're going to lose ground when it comes to getting in the minds of the masses, as far as getting people to willingly consent to participate in the death hex, then they're going to go to plan B. And by all means, people, if plan B is to release a real kraken of sorts into the population, what a way to do it, right? Test how it would carry if you released it into a subway. Why don't you go test if you were to release an agent, a chemical bioweapon into the population and citizens? How would you go about doing it? Right? So how convenient that they would want to study how far it would carry, because my people, we are definitely going against some really criminal and sinister people here, whether or not you want to believe it. I'm just going to look at the comments real quick. Hi, Electric Soldier, the paper mask to gas. Right. Well, you know, that's the truth. And I think that's kind of always been the plan here, is to get us into the Kraken. Or, you know, if the death hex hasn't been working right, you know, this is a multi-level strategic game against the good people of Earth. You know what I mean? Of terra firma here. They have a sinister plan to enslave humanity, and by any means necessary, they plan on executing it. So just little things like this, when we see little things like this, it's part of like the revelation of the method, you know. They kind of disclose things to us before they do it. It's up to us to have the eyes to see what they're doing. Many people would just shrug it off and be like, oh, these people, oh, they're always crazy. Well, you know what? The crazy ones are going to be the ones who aren't prepared. And that's going to be their own fault. I bet there's a good chance that the Jays, and yeah, absolutely. And that's what we have to think. Like, we don't know what they're going to do. We know that they could possibly flip a switch at any time. Yeah, I don't know. Travis, Madison, I don't know. They're saying it is a safe gas. That's what they're saying. So it is a real plan, you guys. Just wanted to jump on and get this out there, that there's going to be 5 days between the 18th and 29th of October, which is this month. It's just days away that they plan on beginning this plan to release this aerosol into 120 different areas in the 5 boroughs of New York City. The Department of Homeland Security is trying to study what it would be like when a bio attack agent was released in New York. And they want to get all of their facts together for how that would be or what that would look like. So anyway, just a quick jumping on, like at first time I've ever jumped on live on YouTube. However, I'm taking a break from other platforms because I just you know, I just want to take a break, which is good for everybody to do sometimes. You know, we got to unplug from this stuff. It is the reality. A lot of us do understand the gravity of the situation and what's happening. But you know, let's remember to enjoy our lives too a little bit and love on our people and take time for ourselves because we are not exempt from what's coming here this winter. So don't have any fear. Just cherish each moment, love on your loved ones, and yeah, that's it. All right, guys, I'm out. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you again another time. I don't exactly know how to end the live on YouTube, so give me a minute to fumble around and try and do this. But yeah, I'm not sure how to do this, how to end this. I'm just going to click the X and hope it ends. Okay, guys? So sayonara. I'll see you around.